John Ryan there, Ryan McCaffrey here. Together we are John Ryan McCaffrey, a Wheel of Fortune before and after puzzle, the worst one ever. Anyway, Red Dead Redemption 2.
That was awful.
We played it for the first 4 hours.
We did, which is crazy.
No spoilers here, no major spoilers.
Yeah.
So before you click away, know that we wouldn't do that to you. Wouldn't give anything away. But
I think about it.
There's a lot to chew on in the first 4 hours of this game. Where do you want to start?
I mean, I feel like the beginning is often a very good place to start.
Yeah.
And I feel like the cool thing is, and without getting into a whole lot of spoiler territory, this demo did a couple of great things playing the first 4 hours of this game. It proved to me that all of the expectations that I had about the story from all of the trailers and everything we've seen so far is almost entirely wrong, which I was super thankful for. And it shows me that Rockstar still knows how to draw you into a world impossibly well.
Yeah, they're clearly going to be thousands, if not tens of thousands of lines of dialogue in this video game. Like, it is a very narratively rich game.
And I mean, not just in the sense of narrative either, like in terms of, because this is doing so many new things in terms of mechanics and systems and layer upon layer upon layer of the worlds that they've built.
Yeah.
You know, that notion of making them Rockstar worlds and not just open worlds. The way that they introduce those systems to you, it was really nice to see, sort of, instead of just, here's all the stuff you can do, good luck. It was a nice kind of slow build of like, okay, cool. Here's the world, you kind of understand this basic notion of it. Here are these new mechanics, here's how they work. Play with them for a bit. Okay, here's these new mechanics, here's how they work. Play with them for a bit.
And that even applied to the main characters as well.
Yeah.
You really get introduced to the entire Vanderlyn gang in a deliberate but organic way, where it's not suddenly like, I don't know who all these people are. What's your name again? Could you have a name tag? Like, no, you kind of get to know them in a way that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you're given the chance to get invested with them as characters. Like, I don't think that there was one person that we didn't interact with who I walked out of those 4 hours being like, I don't know really what their deal is, and I don't really care. Like, there wasn't one person that I thought that about.
Talk to me about hunting, because that's something that we were introduced to early on in the game, and it's a little gross.
It's very gross, but in the best possible way. It was one of the things that we were first introduced to way back in the spring when we first saw the game. And with some cool stuff that we didn't get to see, which was really, really neat. Hunting in Red Dead 2, hunting in itself is just a very visceral experience, and you know, I know that's kind of a video game buzzword, but this is one of those few instances where, like, if I shoot a deer and I don't down it in one hit, I legitimately feel really terrible having to finish the job there.
I winged a deer and it just went scurrying off, bleeding and through the. Man, that's.
Yeah, I mean, you got lucky. It sort of fell down and expired before you had to get up close and personal to it. That did not happen for me, and it was not fun, and it probably is going to haunt my dreams for a while.
I also, I was warned by Rockstar and by everyone else in the room to not try to kill the bear.
What did you do? What did you immediately do?
Tried to kill the bear.
The best thing, though, the bear reacted in the bear sense and not in the video game bear sense, where it's like, something hurt me from nearby. Oh, it must have been that thing. It was like, ow, fuck, I have to go. And it immediately ran off into the woods, which is great. I think the fact that they've spent so much time creating this ecosystem where the animals behave properly.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's still the biggest takeaway that I get from this game is that, you know, a lot of games have systems that simulate reality. This one is just such a 7-layer dip of stuff that just makes it what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, and you know, what I said in my piece, and I'll just mention here, is that just even in 4 hours, which just felt like scratching the surface of this thing, which is absurd in and of itself because of just how much there seems to be there, is, to me, this game is what happens when you give world-class talent, which Rockstar has proven themselves to be. You give that kind of talent unlimited time and basically unlimited resources. They've had like 7 years to 8 years to work on this, which most other AAA games don't get that. You might have the world-class talent, but you might check one, maybe two of those boxes, but Rockstar's really
Yeah.
the only one that seems to check all three.
It's that thing of like you have time, you have money, you have energy.
Yeah.
Pick two. In this case, you do get to have all three.
Yeah, so it's going to be incredible to track this game as it gets closer to its October 26th release. We'll have much more coming up on IGN between now and then, and of course, well after the game, the wiki guide, game help.
Yep, be sure to come on back once it launches.
John Ryan's all over it, so stick with us right here on IGN.